So, I know you may have seen videos like this before, but the most popular among them were made many moons ago, and haven't quite captured the aging WoW player or the Evoker class. So welcome to the journey, to discover the player behind the class, Dragonflight Edition. I bet it's no surprise to hear that the big, strong, and angry class, heroic and manly in nature, is played by skinny white dudes with anger issues. Oh, how they wish they could fight and heroically take down armies of men to protect and show off in front of their friends, when in reality their friends see them as a weak target to pick on, and they go home and have an angry cry. They also tend to have odd mog choices, like this one, which looks like a shoddy and just downright shitty mess. I mean, what the fuck's going on with this thing? That's right, get mad. Prove me right. The Holy Crusader, the most righteous class in the game. They're not vengeance, justice. The absolute moron that always dies first. It's unbelievable how they have an abundance of crutch spells to keep them alive, but they still die first to the most basic of mechanics that they cannot comprehend. They literally have the power of God and anime on their side, and they can't do anything with it. Using some cross-reference analysis, I have found that every Paladin player legitimately has the IQ of a Set 8 child and the physical functionality of a turnip. Now I know what you're thinking, he's just gonna make some dumb Kung Fu Panda joke. Well, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be the first to tell you that that joke is officially dead. People don't even play Pandaren monks anymore. This is because now they are obsessed with a whole new series. This is the generation of the Cobra Kai fanboy monks. In this new generation of monk, every player dreams of beating up Tyrone Woodley as Johnny Lawrence in honor of Jake Paul. They mythic raid next to their framed picture of Miguel and play as their undead monk that they designed to look just like Hawk. And I tell you, they love karate so much that instead of actually, taking karate lessons, they sit on their cheesecake-filled asses and fantasize about it like a true gamer. Now, I was shocked by this statistic because I thought they were all off in Dalaran sewers or in the shadows or something. But I guess rogue players don't exist. If there are any out there, I can only imagine they are crying softly into a pillow because their last fun spec outlaw was made dull in Shadowlands. Don't worry, little guy. One day you will matter. I mean, not any day soon, but Like a tadpole before becoming a frog, every demon hunter started their WoW life cycle as an emo tween playing as a Death Knight. Like a skeleton in a skin suit, you continued to play, but always feeling like there was a potential you just couldn't hit. Then boom! It's 2016, it's a new era, Demon Hunter is finally released as a playable class, and you level listening to your friend's metalcore playlist that you fit the vibe for such an awesome and badass class. Anyway, fast forward to 2022, you're waiting until the Dragonflight release, and spending hours upon hours making and editing YouTube videos that will probably get, 2 impressions. And actually, while we're on the topic, if you like and subscribe, you could actually earn yourself a Villa's Preserved Eye. Wow, that really was the most shameless one of those I've ever done, isn't it? Guys, come on, I'm kidding. That's just enhancement. Go on though, I've shown you guys the stats earlier. There's clearly Shamans out there to talk about, just not enhancement. Well, actually, I guess there isn't really that much to talk about Elemental either. The only people who play Elemental are just the chads that are either in the Eye of the Storm, knocking people off, or waiting in the queue for it. Good thing Resto is such a good talking point. They're the most dedicated healers that choose the group over themselves. Not because they're selfless, but because they have Reincarnate. Only play with battle res classes and engineers with their, fancy little battle reses that I definitely don't play engineer for. They're there to heal, not to move out of the fire, not to help soak, not even to make a baby step in another direction. No, when they enter an encounter, they unbind their movement keys because they know all they need to do is heal. That, my friends, is the Resto way. I guess what I'm really saying is they're just a bunch of selfish pricks. Unbinders of life. Tormentors of the soul. They don't just kill, they torture, slowly, without mercy or compassion. Stay away from those people! Now this class is one that must be classified in two different groups. The first is a group of people I like to call the classless. They don't enjoy the current classes, so they wait for the next one, and the next one, and the next one. They're never satisfied, and join the rogues in their pillow-crying way of life because they just can't find anything fun to play. The rest of them, well, to put it bluntly, they're a bunch of scalies that are normally on VR chat when, you know, they're not playing WoW. So yeah, that's the Evoker. Have you ever noticed that of all the classes in the game, you can rely on mages consistently having high item level, have massive amounts of achievements, and have played the game since 2004? That's right, the sweaty, disgusting, mum's basement gamer is the mage. They spend every second of their awakened state playing WoW, watching WoW, and even studying WoW. They just don't share the same desires as the common man. They don't require any fame or success, maybe even a little bit of gluttony and lust. All they care about is those sweet, sweet damage numbers. If anything, I'm sure we can all agree that it's impressive that they have this devotion. I mean, I sure as shit wouldn't be saying after 18 years of Blizzard shit. There is nothing more bipolar than the Druid. Yet again, one class, two types. The first, the armies of Tate stands that breed the no bitches lifestyle into our community. They are often found in guilds such as Tate's Alphas, Hustlers University, or the more common, Rights More Like Kill Yourself. They use these guilds to spread their Hustlers University links and recruit new and impressionable players into their community, which is of course damaging in many different ways. They are a scourge who we may one day face in a future expansion. And of course, as I'm sure you've all been expecting, the second type are indeed the furries on VR chat with the scalies. A surprisingly kind people. Champions of the Light, the true healers of any MMO, the pure of heart. Pure of heart. What a load of shit. You know, I really didn't want to waste time and energy on this class, but I guess I have to. These are the assholes in the raid that flame at any given moment. They check everyone is using pots in LFR, and when making any argument, they will back it until the end of time, when the sun consumes the earth and when hell freezes over. As an example for my case study, I'm friends with a little priest called Matty, that still after 2 years of evidence, continues to back that New York is in fact a country. I mean, do you know what it's like to be told for 2 years something that is factually incorrect is actually correct? Like, maybe New York actually is a country. Maybe Maddie's right. Maybe warrior mogs are actually good. Nah, just kidding, they're still bad, lol. With all of Shadowland's faults still fresh in everyone's minds, we missed one true beauty it brought. With the level changes, it sought an end to the level 58 Death Knight's wrath. Well, mainly because people didn't want to level past 50. We are now in the age of the kind Death Knight. Caring and compassionate, this Death Knight has your best interests in mind. They are often found giving gold to noobs, helping out the low-geared, and defending the new and stupid. Why do they do this, you may ask? Well, the reason is much more depressing than what your little heart can probably bear. Unfortunately, since Blizzard's little scandals, our game is in a worse state than ever, and they are the heroes that are trying to keep this game populated through kindness. Without them, and their servitude, Microsoft would have put us into maintenance mode long ago. We should really be thanking them, but we don't. Finally, we have the Hunter, and oh boy am I about to have a field day with this one. And yes, we will be breaking this into 3 different types. Firstly, we have the 0cc, 0 pet, 0 damage, 0 bitches spec marksman. This spec is so useless in M+ that even after they took away the target cap, they are still never brought. You know why? Because they are basically 0cc when compared to their counterparts. They are fucking losers. Then we have their complete opposition. Here is an artistic rendition. Sure, they may indeed be better than marksmen by having actual CC, actual damage, but they too get 0 bitches. You know why? They're too distracted by their pets to get bitches. In fact, they're normally too busy petting their exotic animal instead of pressing keys. This is why they have one of the most basic rotations in the game. So although they're not as bad as marksmen, they too are still pretty fucking mid. Now it's time to talk about the holy grail of Hunter. Survival. All the DPS, all the bitches. They fight with spears in front lines instead of standing in the back lines like pussies. When they have a pet, they actually do look like badasses, unlike their counterparts. And here's the best part, the coup de grace, as it were. They don't even need to touch grass, because they can survive without it. here's a graph, and here's another graph. And now you understand why survival is the best thing since sliced fucking bread. Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, right there is a wrap on the player behind the class. And now you need to click on this video to see why my mental state is waning. Seriously, please click on it. This took me so long to make.